Hello, this is Professor Werwath. I've been asked multiple times from incoming students what recommendations I have for them. So I thought I'd put together a quick 2 or 3 slide deck to help incoming students get ready for the fall quarter at MEM starting in September 2025. My first recommendation, of course, is to pay very close attention to all the correspondence you receive from Renaissance and Karen. They are very efficient in what they are doing. They're very complete and comprehensive, and there's a total process you need to follow if you want to stay on top of your studies and stay on top of registration and matriculation and all the various steps you need to follow to be a successful student at MEM. So please read it carefully, read it more than once, make some notes, create a little calendar for yourself, whatever it is you need to do. Make sure you're on top of it. Don't delay these things. Secondly, is leverage your existing relationships in the US. So if you've got professional relationships, perhaps people in the same company that are working in US divisions or US operations, especially those in Chicago, try to find some time to meet with them. They might be a great resource for you in the future, perhaps for jobs or references or ideas or a variety of other things, potentially even projects. So these are all things you're going to want to have access to. And I think those relationships are best nurtured early so that when you get here, you're not scrambling to reestablish the relationships that you had weeks ago or months ago. Connect with your other incoming MEM students and with MEM alumni. The other incoming students are in the same boat you are. Hopefully they've got some sort of Slack channel that you can subscribe to. But in so doing, you'll probably get some great ideas. Hopefully they've looped in some existing students from the previous batch, the previous cohort, but housing, other types of logistics, recommendations, all sorts of things can be learned about life in Evanston and how to set yourself up for success, right? Update your LinkedIn profile, update your resume, get that done early, get that done right away. You will probably be using these things on day one. LinkedIn profiles are very important. So just, keep that in mind. Join MEM LinkedIn groups and YouTube channels, right? So subscribe to these things that, where I'm posting up, opportunities. This is, it's not too early to start applying, even for the summer of 26. Frankly, some people get hired for summer jobs as early as fall of the previous year. So, start early, start often, get to know what kinds of jobs are out there and what you're most interested in. I suggest that you also include ECD in your subscription, right? So ECD has its own LinkedIn page. There's a lot of information there. Just as important as the MEM page, ECD is Engineering Career Development for McCormick. Start a project, develop a project that you would like to work on during your time as a student. And in my mind, a startup idea is ideal, but so can a research topic or a new product or technology or service. You're going to have access to all sorts of data sets, all sorts of information from the library that you can leverage in your research. You take a startup class, an entrepreneurship class, maybe something out of Farley Center as early as you can. You can start working on your startup. Form a team of people maybe that are working on the same thing with you so that it's more than just one person. It becomes a group effort, right? Look up research areas from current McCormick faculty using scholars.northwestern.edu. This is a website that tracks all the scholarly work happening at the university in every department, every research center, every nook and cranny of the organization. It's all there. It's very searchable. Find something maybe that you like. An example might be John Rogers working on biointegrated circuits, right? He's got a whole laboratory with 5 or 6 different businesses, all developing the technology and trying to commercialize it. So I've had students not just get jobs there, but do research with them and also be an RA, a paid RA. Some of the jobs they've had, one of them was a COO of a John Rogers company. So our MEM students find commercialization to be kind of a specific niche of within the technology organization, within the McCormick School of Engineering, right? F1 students should schedule your visa interviews as soon as possible and be willing to travel to get to the soonest available slot. Recognize that each consulate office has a different queue, a different queuing time and delay. and a different schedule. So try to find the soonest one and, jump on a plane if you have to get your interview done. Plan on coming to school fully funded. There are students who come with broken laptops and half worn out shoes and almost no money in their pocket, which puts you in a really bad situation because frankly, you're going to need a laptop when you're here. You're going to need a good laptop. You're going to need good walking shoes because you're going to be probably doing a lot of walking. You're going to need a good heavy coat. You're going to there's all sorts of things you're going to need, especially if you're going to be renting an apartment. You're going to have to outfit that apartment more than likely because my guess is that most apartments come unfurnished. So you'll have to at least get some used furniture, if not, rental furniture. So keep that in mind. Please don't underestimate the expenses. Talk to people who are in the program today, and you'll find out what the expenses really are and what you should be budgeting. So the other thing people ask is, what makes a successful student? This seems to be a very popular question, right? My first answer is always pretty much the same: curiosity, right? The willingness to dive deep, ask questions, learn as much as you can. I think what also makes a successful student is an organized student, somebody who has a good calendar system, somebody who can keep track of their appointments, keep track of their commitments, keep track of their assignments, keep track of their classes. I personally use Microsoft Outlook. I use the calendar function there. It serves me well. I'm a slave to my calendar, right? Somebody who drives to get things done. A procrastinator will often pay the price because tasks will pile up and it becomes difficult to catch up. So somebody who drives to get things done, get it done as quickly as possible. Get things off your plate as soon as you can, right? Willingness to engage in groups and take a leadership role. There's something called the McCormick Graduate Leadership Council, MGLC. Great way to plug in, great way to meet the dean, great way to meet other grad students in McCormick, and to get a sense of the McCormick Advisory Council, which those folks are alum, very, very prominent alum, very successful alum. So getting to meet them is a huge benefit, I think, from the MGLC. The MEM SAB, the Student Advisory Board for MEM, is a great way to give back to your fellow students, to help organize events, to help us in administration figure out what works, what doesn't work, what the student group needs, et cetera, et cetera. There's budget there. There's events that can be planned. Everything from a webinar or seminar to potentially a social event or any sort of other event that helps you and your fellow students succeed professionally, right? Kellogg conferences. We've had students volunteer at different conferences, whether it's a women's conference or a energy conference, or I think they even have an India conference at Kellogg. So become part of the organizing team, right? It gives you good visibility, good exposure. You'll get to meet a lot of great people. And it's something you can put on your resume, something that shows and demonstrates your leadership, right? Siegel has a variety of clubs. A lot of them are undergrad focused, but I'm sure that you're very, welcome there. Car clubs, rocket clubs, airplane clubs, all sorts of clubs over there. In fact, they have something called Siegel Bridge that bridges the university to a variety of different professional societies like PDMA, PMI, INCOSI. These are societies that, frankly, will also help network you to professionals in Chicagoland. So help potentially get you a job, right? What else makes a successful student, I believe, is empathy. If you can have empathy for your fellow students today, maybe you can have empathy for customers in the future. This is what helps you become a good product or project manager. So empathy, to the extent that you know where they're coming from, you understand what their interests are and what their concerns are, right? Lastly, I would add horizontal thinking, right? The ability to think across the campus, not just within MEM this way vertically, but horizontally. McCormick, Medill, Siegel, Farley Center. These are all viable organizations that have a lot to give and might need something from you or something from MEM. So make those connections, connect those dots. This will be really good practice for you when you get to the quote unquote, the real world of industry, where cross-functional thinking, horizontal thinking will pay off, I believe, handsomely, right? As a reminder, some important dates, summer statistics course starts on June 23rd. Your last day to declare a deferral, if you need to start in the fall of 26 instead of 25. Your last day to make that decision is August 1st. New student orientation is September 11th and 12th, and classes start on the 15th. So that's basically what I have to share with you now. Hopefully that was useful for you in terms of understanding what makes you a success and what I would recommend for incoming students to prepare for the program. So hopefully I will see you all in the fall. Take care.